Hi everybody, I've got another live stream for you today, and I'm going to be looking for my co-host here. Let's see. Hi. Let's see, how do I get you to join? Good morning. I'm trying to get someone to join here. Let's see. There we go. So just a update. Hi.
Hi.
I was just gonna do a quick update about my trip while we wait for people to join. Does that sound good?
Sounds perfect.
Okay, great. So I am currently in Los Angeles right now for the LA Art Show, and it has been absolutely amazing. It's great to be with all my artist colleagues and to be showing my work. And BG Gallery is totally up leveled in the last year, which has been really exciting to see. And they represent my work. Hi everybody, thank you for joining. And my work, I was lucky enough to sell 2 pieces before the show even opened, so that was really, really exciting for me. And just seeing my friends from LA, one of my friends, when we helped produce Photo Independent together, and when she saw me, she's like, "The band is back together," and it was just really made me feel good. And it's beautiful as ever in LA. I've been hitting up the beaches and hanging out with my friends. So thanks everybody for joining. We really appreciate it. All right, should we get started?
Yeah, definitely. So if you haven't been to one of these live streams before, basically we always start off by just me asking Teresa some questions related to the blog post this week. She posts a blog every single week on Medium, and then we kind of go over the topics of that and go a little bit more in depth with that. And then the second half will be a Q&A of your guys' questions. So like as we're going through, feel free to throw any questions you have in the chat. Just I'll be able to find them and scroll back to the top, so don't worry about that. And I have a few questions that we also got submitted on Instagram. Yeah, and I think that's pretty much it, unless you have anything else you want to say before we dive in.
Hi everybody, thank you so much for tuning in.
Awesome. Well, we can dive right in. Basically, this week on the blog, we were talking about being a female artist and influencer on social media. So the first question I have for you are, what are the benefits of using social media as an artist and influencer?
Yeah, so social media, it's a really great place to make friends and meet other people who are into what you're into. I've made friends all over the world, and not just friends, but people who support my work, people who care about what I do, people who buy my work. And you can make a ton of connections that way. And it's just a great way to express yourself, share your ideas and your passions, and be heard.
Awesome. And I also found that when social media first came out, artists were really excited at the possibility of generating art sales. Have you personally been able to increase your actual sales through social media, or have you not really seen that happen?
So before Instagram made some really big changes. So they made some really big changes last summer. I was doing really well on Instagram. Like when the pandemic hit, I unfortunately lost my job at that time, but I was able to use social media to make up for a lot of the money that I had been missing out on. And it was really exciting to think that like I could make a living being an artist, just an artist. Unfortunately, when they made all the changes to Instagram, it really hit small businesses and people who don't really have the money to do the funding or to do the advertising. So I do make a little bit of sales, but it's like minuscule compared to it was before when they changed all the algorithms and stuff. It's been actually a real challenge because I spent, I don't know, 10 plus years building my community and just for them to change it like that without really thinking about how it was going to affect the small people. Obviously, they don't care about the small people. Personally, I think that they don't really care. So, I mean, they're not getting their money, so that's what they care about. Yeah, I took it pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie. By this time, if Instagram wouldn't have changed, I probably would have like 50, maybe even 60,000 followers, but now it's totally, I don't get any more followers. It's really, really hard to get organic followers unless you pay a lot of money in advertising a month.
And so you started to touch on this, but how does privilege influence how much exposure and impact you are able to have on social media? And do you feel like this works against female artists in particular?
Yeah, I mean, with privilege, usually you have money. So, and when you're an artist, usually you don't have lots of money. So you're not able to really advertise the way that Instagram would like you to advertise. But the thing that's annoying is like you've spent all that time building a following, and now the people who follow you don't even see your work unless you pay for it. I just think that's such bullshit. Um, and if you are somebody who has money, it's usually, let's pretend you're a white man or, obviously whatever group that you would call privileged. And now they're the ones who are paying, and now they're the ones getting the following, and now they're the ones that their voices are being heard. And it just really isn't inclusive. I mean, you're just getting just not everyone is being seen or heard, and it's really hard to become an influencer without money. And that's just really sad because there's people out there like me who aren't necessarily rich, and I have a lot to say and a lot to add to the conversation, and people aren't going to hear it as much as they could be hearing it. And it just goes for other female artists in the industry who are also in the same boat as me, who are just working so hard just to get like the 1% of their followers to hear what they're saying. And I just think over time that's just going to create a market that's just really boring, frankly. Hey Scott, thanks for joining. Good to see you here.
Awesome. So the next question is going to kind of switch gears a little bit, but what have been your experiences with censorship on social media as a female artist? And do you feel this censorship is detrimental to the way women perceive their bodies and express themselves?
Yeah, I've seen so much censorship, especially in the last year. They've gone really hard on censorship. Um, I have a real problem with censorship. I mean, it's hard because like you don't necessarily want to see the OnlyFans girls in your feed 24/7, and I get that they're trying to keep it like friendly for everyone. But for women who are making like powerful figurative work in that kind of space, and they're also kind of being put into that same category as sex workers, it can be really challenging to get your work seen. And if I'm not able to show my work on Instagram, which is one of the main carriers these days of seeing my work, where are you going to see it? And our bodies are amazing. They should be celebrated, and especially our nipples. Okay, free the nipple. Our bodies are gorgeous, and I feel like they're being sexualized, but if we were able to show the female form more of a celebration and more as an empowerment, then maybe we wouldn't have so many weird ideas in sexualizing the body so much. I mean, obviously, it's just my opinion, but that's why you're here, is for my opinion. So I, I, I don't know how to change that. But the fact that I can't post my work has been really frustrating. And just even if you hashtag nude, it gets banned. And frankly, I've been shadow banned probably for a year since they've decided to do all the censoring, just because I have a Patreon. So every little thing will shadow ban you. And even if you say blog, they will shadow ban you. You can't even say anything anymore. And I've noticed a lot of influencers just saying, I'm having a good day. And then they can't even really say anything. So unless, you want to pay a lot of money for somebody to see your post. So, it's really frustrating. And I think, I think it's absolutely frustrating for me, seeing it all change so much and so quickly. And because I could at this point be an influencer and be a full-time artist if it wasn't for those changes on Instagram. And honestly, it kind of breaks my heart because there's nothing I want more than to just be a full-time artist. And having to like pay for that privilege is just super frustrating.
Have you had any personal experiences with the sexualization of the female form on social media?
So, I mean, it's a daily thing, let's be honest. There's a lot of thirsty people out there. And, it's just, I get it. Women are beautiful. And, I'm not a man, so I don't completely understand what it's like to be challenged by testosterone on the daily. But yeah, it happens all the time. And it's hard because like if I don't put up selfies and I don't put up sexy selfies, literally I'm not even in the algorithm. Like if I put my art in there, I don't get as much like feedback. So I've had to just remind myself that people also want to see my face and also want to see that I'm beautiful and what I'm doing and what I'm up to. And that comes with some people sexualizing me.
Definitely. Um, and as far as that goes, what sacrifices have you made to gain exposure on social media?
Well, I think that was just that was a good question. Kind of jumped the gun on that one. So that what other things have I done to sacrifice to be on social media? Yeah, I guess I just want to say again, it's just really tough when you feel like you are good at what you do and you really love your work and you don't get as much feedback, like, but then when you post a picture of you looking cute, then it's like all this feedback. So I mean, it's nice that that can help. But what I really need is my fan base to really like step in and say hi when it comes to my art. Um, I can't really think of any other sacrifices I've made, but I will keep thinking about it while we move on.
Yeah, that sounds good. You definitely already kind of touched on that one, so that was more of a follow-up. But this is our last question before we move into the Q&A. So if you guys have any questions, start putting them in the chat now. The last question I have for you is, what do you feel needs to be done to make social media safer and more accessible for female artists and influencers?
Well, thank goodness there's a thing called block because I literally have to block people daily. And there is another separate section when people want to send you messages. So there is like a buffer there. But I do know it could be safer for children. So I do know that that is kind of an issue there. But I can't really think of anything. Does anybody have any ideas there? Um, yeah, I can't think of anything, but um, I do like that I can block people super easy. It does get scary sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, especially because I also have a shop and I can be found, so I do get scared sometimes. And I have had people that I've dated be like, you need to be more private and all that stuff. And that's hard because like I am a private person and I am an introvert, so I guess this kind of goes to the sacrifices is that on social media, you do have to open up your life to people in order to like get them excited about also, I'm an artist, it's kind of like, now I'm not just a photographer, but now I have to be a social media goddess and be on and have to wear makeup and look cute and, like share all my life stories with you to just keep people involved, you know, which can be good, but you know, I'm a busy person. I don't have time to post all day long about stuff. And I don't have time. Even I've been at the LA Art Show all weekend and I barely at the end of the day, I'm like, oh yeah, get some stories, yeah, get some footage for stories for people to see that you're actually an artist and you're actually working super hard, you know? Um, so yeah, just the privacy thing. But you know, I do try to walk a line of like sharing and being open and vulnerable and connecting with my audience. And then also having my alone time to be me and going, you know, not everyone needs to know everything about you. It's a privilege to just even like know these things about me and not to give everyone access to it, you know, that it's really my personal business. But it is a way to connect with people on some deeper levels when you open up. And for me, I find it can be even healing to share certain things with people. And it just feels good to be heard, you know, if nothing else. So I kind of backtracked on some of our questions there. I thought that would happen.
Awesome. Yeah, no worries at all. I think those are all super great answers. And now we're going to move into the Q&A section. So if you're just joining us and you have a question for Teresa, feel free to type it up in the chat and I'll read them out for her. I did notice that we had one come through, so we'll start with that one. What is your next big project?
Wow, I'm working on so many things right now. I'm working on releasing a fundraiser for Alien Mermaid Cove. We're really trying to get a retail space, and we're hoping to get a retail space in the next couple of months. We have a pop-up shop on Alberta Street, which is really cool. We're closed right now, just for anyone who wants to know. I ended up renting out the space so I could travel for the LA Art Show. And so we're trying to raise $130,000 for the runway money for the first 2 years of Alien Mermaid Cove. It's one of the biggest asks of my life, and that is a very vulnerable space to be. And whew, it even feels like scary just to even put it out there. I feel like, you know, anything's possible and anything can happen. And we have like such a solid, amazing mission to help out marginalized individuals and women artists and artists of the community. So it's really exciting and I'm definitely pushing myself there. And thank you to Maeve, my assistant, for all her help, not just with that, but with everything. I couldn't even be here without her. And I'm getting ready to release a podcast. It's been in the works for a while. I was just in Salt Lake with my producer, and we're getting ready to move forward for scheduling people there. And that's really fun because it's basically me just talking to my favorite people about art and healing and whatever. And also, it's going to be very I'm noticing on Instagram, like I can post stories of like my deep thoughts, you know, but then it's like over in like 30 seconds, you know, and my deep thoughts go quite longer than that. So I'm going to be able to express those things on my podcast and be able to just open up the conversation in just a lot deeper manner. So that's really exciting for me. And what else is on the horizon? So if we do get a retail space, okay, let's change my mindset here. When we get our retail space, I'm going to have a runway show, and it's going to be awesome because it's going to be all my new collection of altered states. We haven't had a runway show in a year, so I'm really looking forward to that. And right now, my big project is the LA Art Show. So it's currently happening. So if you are in LA, today's the last day to go down there. I am with BG Gallery, and they have like a great spread there. It's just like, I'm just like so impressed with what they're doing. And the owner is just, he has like the biggest heart. They set me up with a, a house here in LA. So I've been so comfortable, and I've actually been sleeping better than I have on my whole trip. Which is so nice. And I mean, just the art there is just, it's just like next level. It's just incredible. Then I'm going to be just traveling a little bit. So that's my current project. But I'm always working on things. And if you're interested in what I'm doing, you can always Follow also my personal page, Teresa Flowers, and you can stay in touch with my website and all those things, just to keep current about what we're up to. Did I miss anything? We're probably working on a few things. Anything you want to remind me that we're working on that's worth sharing about?
I think those are the main ones right now. I think you got it.
Awesome.
Awesome. And then I did see another question come into the chat. What was the worst project you worked on and what did you learn from it?
The worst project. I've worked on so many projects, but I wouldn't say that there was like one that was like crazy horrible that stands out. Um, but there's always the thing of just like not getting paid or not getting paid for like 90 days plus, or people when you do a job and then they like try to make up excuses of why they shouldn't pay you. Um, I've worked for some galleries where, it could have been easier. But for the most part, I work with amazing, amazing people. I just attract just really great people. And I feel like my clients and the people that I work for just get better and better. I'm really lucky that way, but I think people also pick up on my energy and also see my work. So for the most part, I've had really great experiences. Thank you for the question.
Awesome. And then I'm going to kind of move to some questions we got on Instagram, but if you guys have any more, feel free to throw them in the chat and I'll get to them. The first question that we got was, how can we help support your artistic and business goals?
Aw, that's so sweet. That feels so good that somebody cares enough to ask that question. Wow, there's so many ways you can help support us. You could be a volunteer. You could come down and help volunteer. I'm always needing help with the shop, like just even doing stuff like we've completely revitalized the back of the shop, and I needed like so much help there. And you can even just come and help out in the shop if you want, or on my photo shoots, or I mean, if you're interested in volunteering, you can definitely touch base. On social media, hype me up. It'd be so helpful. I know it seems like so lame just to like and to put comments and to like there's that little corner button that looks like a ribbon or something. If you hit that, that is actually better than liking it. It's a save button, so it makes Instagram think that I'm extra cool. So if you just like, comment, save, that alone helps raise the algorithm so more people can see my work. And then you can reshare, and you can share in your stories. You could tell your friends on Facebook. You could hype me up on Facebook. You can go buy my prints. So in my bios on my pages, there are all sorts of options to, buy prints. You can donate money. You can be a patron. Being a patron is really fun because you kind of get the VIP behind the scenes of Teresa Flowers' life. It's not just pictures of me that other photographers take, but it's a lot of my behind the scenes from working with models. It's all uncensored. So like Instagram obviously is censored, so you can join and see things that are uncensored. And you get to see some videos, like the nudity in my work. We censor for Instagram, but when we put it up on the Patreon, it's not censored, and it's just so much more beautiful that way. Anyways, and it's so affordable. It's like $10 a month or something, and that's just like a bagel and a coffee. You know what I mean? And that's basically you buying me a bagel and a coffee once a month. So it's very affordable, and then you get a lot of perks. We're about to launch our fundraiser. That's going to come out on Monday. So look for that. We're going to need major help there and major support. So even the smallest donation helps raise our algorithm. So even if you donate like $5 or $5 a day, and you keep donating and you just sharing and liking and commenting, and just any friends that you know who may like my work, who may want to help, who may want to invest, who may want to be a partner, who knows? That's what's so beautiful about the world, is anything can happen. And when it comes to this piece, it's really me being in the magic of my work and really asking for the help and the support to get there. Sorry, it's like a real big ask. So all the help in the world, that that's the place that could be really helpful. When our shop is open, come in and buy some stuff. If you need gift certificates or we sell everything from clothing, home goods, shoes. We even have like bras and like swimsuits, and it not only help out your local artist and your local artists, but help our world have less clothing waste and less fast fashion. We make it pretty easy to do good over at Alien Mermaid Cove. And then also you can always DM me and just say hi and let me know you like my work. And you can refer me for photo shoots. You could get your photo shoots done with me. You could do your family shoots, your maternity. I mean, literally I photograph anything and everything. I've been doing it for 25 years. So you just like hit me up with any sort of projects you have. And then also if you're like a designer and you're like having work with agencies or anything in the commercial space, I would love to be considered for any of those jobs. And I mean, the list goes on of how you can help. So if you have any creative ideas that I didn't talk about, just let me know and we can see how it could help support the cause. Do you have any ideas of how they could help, you being behind the scenes?
No, I think those are all really great. I mean, the big one right now is the fundraiser that's coming up. So I think just if anyone can even donate like a little bit, that would help a ton. So,
Yeah, let me just talk about that a little bit. Because and why I'm so emotional about it is because the past year has been really, really rough with the pandemic. It was really, really hard to work and hard to be a photographer, which is why I pivoted and started working on Alien Mermaid Cove. Sorry, gosh. I'm not sorry. I'm emotional and that's okay, right? Yay, mindset. Okay. And I feel a lot. I'm an artist. It's a part of my gift. So it was just really, really tough. And I've reached out. I've tried to get PPP loans. I've tried to get every single loan. I've gone after every grant I can. And there's just not a lot of funding. There's not a lot of funding for small businesses, for women. And I have just really put myself out there in every capacity. Maeve knows we've been there, we've been trying it. And so this is our kind of our last effort to like raise the money. And I just want it so much. Just because I want it so much doesn't mean it needs to be, but like I really want to put my whole heart into it and see if we can make it happen. Um, and that's a little bit behind of why I'm emotional about it. And I believe in it and I believe in the mission and I just can see it working and I can see how it's going to create a community and how it can just keep growing and really helping out the artists. And artists just, man, as a freelancer, I just fell between the cracks during the pandemic and I had a hard time paying rent like 4 times and it was really, really scary and there was no relief for me. I saw a lot of people in my community who worked for Nike and they like went from having their super great job to like their super big unemployment, and I had a hard time just even getting unemployment. So it's tough. It's been tough as an artist, as a freelancer. We do fall between the cracks. And I'm ready to get back up with my head up out of underwater and I'm ready to soar. And I do need your help. And that's what I wanted to share with you. So thank you for listening.
awesome. I think that's kind of the time we have and a great place to stop where people can kind of think about that over the day and get ready to donate on Monday when that goes live. Unless you had anything else you wanted to say, Teresa, before we wrap it up.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you so much, everyone, for your lifetime support and just for being here and listening and caring about what I do. I so appreciate it. And I want to thank my team of the people who are behind the scenes that are every day working so hard for the cause. You guys are awesome. I couldn't do it without you, and I really appreciate the support. And stay in touch. We have a lot of new things coming. So keep connected and send me any DMs with any questions you guys have. And thanks for your help, Maeve. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, bye you guys. I hope you have a great Sunday. And if you're in LA, I hope to see you today. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.